Deep under the roots of the grand old Christmas tree, nestled in a cozy little burrow, lived a tiny mouse named Nino and his big, bustling family. Nino absolutely adored Christmas. For him, it was a magical time filled with the most wonderful smells and, best of all, the most delicious treasures. Crumbs of sweet, sugary cookies and tiny bits of sharp, savory cheese would often tumble down from the big table above, like a special holiday feast just for them. But this year, as the festive season began, a shadow fell over their cheerful home. Something dreadful, something truly terrible had happened. The magnificent shining star that always sat proudly at the very top of the Christmas tree was gone. The tree stood tall, decorated with sparkling baubles and twinkling lights, but its peak was dark and bare. "Oh no!" squeaked Nino, his little whiskers trembling with worry. His voice was a tiny whisper, but it was filled with a big sadness. "Without the star, Christmas won't shine. The magic will be gone." The other mice huddled together, their faces long and their spirits low. Christmas just wouldn't be the same without its guiding light. While his family fretted, a spark of determination ignited in Nino's tiny heart. He couldn't just sit there and let Christmas lose its sparkle. He puffed out his small chest, wrapped his favorite tiny red scarf snugly around his neck, and made a brave decision. He, Nino the mouse, would find that missing star and bring it back where it belonged. He was going to save Christmas. His grand adventure began right there, under the sprawling branches of the tree. The floor was a forest of brightly wrapped presents, and Nino, now a mouse on a mission, started his search. He scurried under a large blue box tied with a silver ribbon, sniffing the air for any hint of starlight. He squeezed behind a stack of smaller gifts, his little nose twitching. But all he found were dust bunnies and the faint scent of pine needles. The star was nowhere to be seen. Undaunted, Nino looked up. The world was a giant's playground, and he had to be clever. He spotted the long, velvety curtains that draped down to the floor. Maybe it bounced up there, he thought. With a deep breath, he began to climb. It was a long and tiring journey up the heavy fabric, his tiny claws gripping the threads. He climbed higher and higher until he reached the windowsill, his little heart pounding in his chest. He peered out at the frosty night, the world outside blanketed in soft white snow, but there was no star. Feeling a little discouraged, Nino scurried back down. His next stop was the kitchen. The air was thick with the delicious smells of holiday baking. On the counter sat the gingerbread man, proudly standing guard inside the cookie jar. Nino scampered up the side of the jar and tapped on the glass. "Excuse me," he squeaked. The gingerbread man with his raisin eyes and icing smile didn't move. "Have you seen a big, shiny star?" Nino asked hopefully. But the gingerbread man remained silent, offering no clues. Just as Nino was about to give up, a flicker of light caught his eye. It was a warm, golden glow, coming from the coziest corner of the room near the crackling fireplace. He tiptoed closer, his curiosity piqued. And there, curled up on a soft rug, was the family's big, fluffy cat. And what was that, swinging gently back and forth, attached to the very tip of the cat's tail? The star. It was stuck in the cat's long fur, shining and glittering with every lazy twitch. Nino's heart leaped into his throat. The cat was huge, and usually, Nino and his family made sure to stay far, far away. But Christmas was at stake. Taking the biggest, bravest breath of his life, he squeaked, "Excuse me, Mr. Cat." The cat's eyes blinked open slowly, 2 green slits in the dim light. He looked down and saw the tiny mouse. "Oh, hello there," the cat purred, his voice a low rumble. He glanced at the star on his tail. "Oh, this shiny thing? It rolled over to me while I was napping. I thought it was a new toy to play with." Nino gulped, gathering all his courage. Can I please have it back? It's the star for the top of the Christmas tree. It's very important for Christmas." The cat looked at the little mouse, then at the star, and a slow, whiskery smile spread across his face. He wasn't a mean cat, just a sleepy one. He purred thoughtfully. "I'll give it back, but only if you promise to share some of that delicious cheese you mice always find." "Deal!" Nino squeaked immediately, his heart soaring with relief. A piece of cheese was a small price to pay to save the magic of Christmas. True to his word, the cat gently shook his tail, and the star plopped softly onto the rug. Nino quickly grabbed it. It was almost as big as he was. He scurried back to his family, dragging the precious star behind him. "I found it! I found it!" he chirped triumphantly. That night, under the cover of darkness, a team of tiny heroes assembled. Nino and his mouse friends worked together, pushing and pulling the heavy star. They scurried up the trunk of the Christmas tree, branch by branch, a determined procession of little helpers. It was hard work, but they encouraged each other with cheerful squeaks. Finally, they reached the very top. With one last, mighty push, they settled the star back into its rightful place. Instantly, the entire room was filled with a brilliant, sparkling light. The star shone down, casting a magical glow over everything, its rays dancing on the walls. The next morning, when the children woke up and came downstairs, their sleepy eyes went wide with wonder. "The star is back!" They cheered with joy. The house was filled with laughter and happiness, and from that Christmas on, the star on top of the tree always seemed to shine just a little bit brighter, a little more magnificently than before. Perhaps it was because it held a special secret. It remembered the story of its grand adventure and the incredible courage of one very tiny, very brave mouse named Nino, who taught everyone that even the smallest among us can make the biggest difference. Thank you so much for listening to Nino's story today. I hope it brought a little bit of holiday magic to your day. If you enjoyed it, please don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel for more wonderful stories. We'll see you next time.